Okay, so in this video, I will show you how to do the loop to concat all of the file we have, data 1, data 2, data 3, into a single data frame and then export it into, say, CSV. Okay. So now here's what we have. Step 1, to create a new data frame or blank data frame. Okay, so we do it. So first of all, step 1 never change, right? So let me copy it here. Okay. Of course, I can put it in here. I can write things in here. However, I just want to keep everything like as it is, so you can go back and see. Okay. So this one is import all data into a new data frame. Okay. So step 1 is like that. So my final data, okay, let me change it. So all data, for example. Okay, so I create a blank data frame called all data, right, by using the data frame function of the package PD, which is stand for pandas. We know that. I'm sorry, I repeat myself. Okay. Now, the second step for us is to declare the list of name of Excel file name. Okay, so I can put it my Excel file, for example, equal to, okay, the list, right? So the list is inside a square bracket. First of all, it is data 1, data 2, data 3, and those are character or string. As we know before, it needs to be in a quote. So I give it a quote. You see the color change in brown, right? So now I have my Excel file. Okay, the list of name, or my Excel file name, for example. So for example, okay. Now, because it is a list, I can loop through it, right? And over here, we do a very simple loop first. And when you do the programming, you have to do step by step to make sure that each step you get correct. Don't try to put everything all together at once, okay? When you do it, it gives you error and it is very difficult to fix or debug, okay? So let me loop through my Excel file name. So for element or I in my Excel file name, okay? It is better to copy and paste if the name is long. That is why we don't want to use a long name, So, okay. Anyway, so after we have that column here, we hit enter, it automatically indent, right? We know that. Now let's print I. Let's see what it print. Okay. Okay. Oh, you know what? You know what is going on here? The my data final, it coming from here. It's still in the system. And that is why when I print, it will print my final data. Okay. It is right here. I didn't change it. I should change it to all data, the new thing, okay? So now let's do it. So you can see that, first of all, it print all data frame. The data frame is blank, no column, no row. And here's my do loop or for loop. It print the first data, the second name, and the third name. So I know that I can loop through it, okay? Now, I will read each of the file using this function, okay? So when I read it, I do what? Say a df equal to, okay, pd dot read Excel, open the parentheses and close the parentheses as a function read Excel, right? Okay. R here to neutralize all of the backslash character. Now inside, I will provide this one. Okay. Yep. Backslash. Okay. If I put data1 dot xlsx, the loop here will not work. It still work, but it doesn't change the data file from data1 to data2 to data3, right? Yep. So we needed to change. That is why we cannot put the data1 here. We put it I. Okay. The thing is, the I here is an element. I mean, it's a variable. So putting like that, you need to put it into that curly bracket, and you have to put the F here is for formula. So here's the whole thing is formula because you insert a variable I into the string. Here's a string and here's a variable, right? Okay. So now let's see. After you import successfully, what will you do? You have to do the concat, right? Yep. But before we do the concat, okay, let's make sure that the import work correctly. Okay, let's print the df. Now, if it doesn't work correctly, we fix it right here. Okay, now let's run and see. Okay, you see. First of all, it prints the O data, which is an empty data frame. Now, when it goes to the loop, it prints I, which is the first file name, data1. It import data1.xl, and we print that one out. Oh, here we go, that one. After that, it go back to the loop. It print the second element, which is data2, and it print out the name data2. Here we go, and it do the import of the data2, which is the I here, and then it print out the data2 data frame. Okay, here, and after that it go back to the for loop and it print. It go to the last element, which is data3. It print out the data3, and then it reads the data3 into the df, which is, you know, the df here is a recycle from time to time, right? You can think about it. It is a temporary space, you know. So it reads the data3 or I here into the df data frame, and then it print out the new df. Here we go. So we know that, okay, my importing works. Okay, and again, over here we put the I in the curly bracket, which is a formula, right? That is why we need to add the F here, stand for the formula in front of the R. Okay, so now we don't need to print it too much. We know it that it works. Let's do the concat, okay, joining or combining the data. So now I put that one, O data equal to pd.concat. Okay, using the concat function in the data in the pd package, we concat the two things, and those two things mean the two things is a list, right? The list of two things. So the two things include, the first thing is our O data, and the second thing is our temporary data frame. Okay, yep. So now let me print it. So you can see, and you will see that the O data here getting bigger and bigger after each iteration. Okay, now let's see. You know why? It works, it runs. However, I didn't print the all data out, right? Okay, print all data. Let's run. Now you see, first of all, the all data is blank. Good. Now, when it start, the iteration start for the first element data 1. Yeah, we know that it print out the name data 1. Then it import the data 1 into the data frame df. Then it do the concat of the blank all data with the df we just imported. And now our data is here. The all data is here. Yep. It only contains the data 1 Excel information. Now, once it's done printing, it go back to the for loop and it moves to the second element. Clearly, it print out the second element, which is data 2. That's good. It import the data 2 into the df. That's fine. And it do the concat of the existing all data and the new data frame. And now here's the thing. The all data now is not blank anymore. Here it is. It have a 3 row, right? Yep. Now it import, it concat the new data, and therefore the updated all data contain the combine of the data 1 and the data 2, which is a 6 row right here. Okay? And now you see the all data getting bigger. And once it print out, it go back to the iteration, the for loop, and it move to the to a third element, which is data 3. It print out the name data 3. That's good. Then it import into data frame df. After the data 3 is imported into the df, it add it to the existing all data. The existing all data now have 6 elements. It add the new data 3 in. Now it have how much? It have a few more, 3 more, You have 3 more right here. Previously it add 18,930. Yeah, 18,930. Now it add 3 more elements. So if you want to see our all data, of course it is right here. You can print it out again to see, You can print out to see. Yep, our all data is right here. Okay? So we successfully concat or combine data of the same format altogether. Now, the last step for us is to export the combined data out. So here we go. It's quite simple, okay? So our all data dot to Excel. Okay. Oh, you know what? 1 second. It is a markdown, so okay. I have to put it in here. So all data to Excel. Okay. And now we have to provide the path. And yes, I still use that path here. And clearly, okay, let me try not to do it. Okay, now the name is my full data dot XLSX. Let's see what kind of error we receive. Here. Yep. This one is because of the backslash. It is a special character. You have to do what? Remember it? You have to put a R in front. Okay, so let's run. Okay, so now it's done. You can go here and you see my full data container of those 9 rows. Yep. Okay. If you want to export it to like CSV, so you can import it into SQL Server, okay, you can do it. Simply change Excel into CSV and XLS here. Excel extension here, you change it to CSV. Okay, now you run it, you will see here is the one is Excel and the other is CSV. Here is Excel file and here is the CSV comma separated file. Okay, let me open it for you to see. So you see here the transaction, product ID, day, things like that. That's good. Now what happened with the first column here? It is the index column for the data frame. Let me show you. See, here is 0, 1, 2. These are the index column. You know, you don't need it, so you can put it index equal to false. Now in this case, when you run, you see that for my Excel, I still keep the index, but for CSV, I say no index. Okay, let's see. Full data, the index is still here. For Excel, you know. For this one, the index is gone. Let me open it. Yep, you don't have that. The column is a transaction. Okay. The index column is totally gone. Okay. Okay, anything else I want to say? Okay, so one more thing. You can see that in my data, in the list of data file, it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2, 3,000. So you shouldn't list all of the file from data 1, 2, 3, or 2, or to like 1,000. It's too much, right? It's too much. Just keep doing that. It's meaningless, right? However, you can see the pattern here. The file name have two components. The first one is a prefix, right? Suffix like data, and then followed by a certain number, and the number just keep changing, right? So all you need is to create a for loop that generates the number. You keep the data here in the path and you only change the number. How to change the number or how to generate the number? If you remember, we have something like that in here. Okay, so that is a hint for you to work with the homework. Okay, thank you.